the day Tupac joined Death Row, just take me through that. Tupac joining Death Row. Then I heard you threw a party for him. Just take me through that whole time. Just give me a detailed account of that whole day and
But you
everything.
seen the interview with what is the guy, Professor Griff? He did a interview about the Tupac song "I Got My Mind Made Up." And he's talked about his birth. That was all at my house. Everything. I was just like, this love when they tell the story for me. That was the night that was the Tupac party that night. That we had a wing party, and they had recorded that song. Pac didn't record it, but they had recorded that song earlier in the evening. I got my mind made up with Rage and all them on there, and we were just having a little party at the house. Everything was going on, the studio was Corrupt did it told me like weeks ago. He's the one that brought Method Man over that night, and that Professor Griff, they rolled with him because I'm like, how did they get to my house? And Corrupt brought him over, and they did that song "I Got My Mind Made Up." And then I think hours later Pot came. We had some wings, everybody party. He came up my driveway. It was like a long driveway with iron gates, and he pulled up with that Benz, and the top was down, and he had the music bumping, and we were all so excited because I kept looking out the window. And then when me and Dad had a guard at our gate, so the guard called and said, there's a Tupac at the gate, can I let him in? I'm like, yes, let him in. And everybody was so excited because he's finally out, and he's coming to see his family now. This is his death row family, and it was great. It was a beautiful party. They recorded before him. Pac didn't come and record that night, but it was a hot wing party at Kenyon Daz's house on Benton Way in Silver Lake Hills.
Right. So the day Tupac got
It was
released,
like maybe two. No, because
okay.
it was like a couple days later. Because remember, they did that night, so it might have been 2 days later. It was within that week. Because he had to get funky fresh, haircut, car. So all that took time. So you think within the 2-day period, he got the Benz, he got the haircut, he got the new clothes. Everything was happening. Because when he came to see us, he was funky fresh. He was looking brand new, like new money.
You're right. Yeah, the dude that you was referring to earlier, because I had to look his name up because I didn't know his name, but Inspectah Deck.
Inspectah, yeah.
Yeah, Inspectah Deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, he pretty much made a comment a few weeks ago. He pretty much said that Tupac was hating when he took his verse off of "Got My Mind Made Up."
That is not so.
How you feel about that?
Yeah, I commented on your page. I'm like, he was not hating on anybody. I mean, when a song is already done, if I acquire it, I want to add my own touches to it. I want to add my own flavor to it. I want to add who I want on there. I want to add my verses on there. Like if they would have kept everybody's verse on there, that would have been a 10-minute album. He took off who he wanted. I mean, of course you're going to keep Daz and Corrupt. That's the Dogg Pound. He's the producer, so you're going to keep him on there. And if Meth is on there, he's going to keep who he wants. I mean, hating, dude, you're stretching it. Come on now. That's putting a lot on it. He wanted to make it authentic for him. Period.
Right, yeah.
That's all it is. I mean, come on now. Don't give yourself all that credit, please. All right. You're in my house, so you came to my house, and if Pac and Daz decided that's the way it was going to be, then that's the way it was going to be.
Yeah, he's still, it looks like, he still feel the type of way about that.
Well, I mean, he was invited guest of me to my house.
Yeah, I guess he wanted to be on that All Eyes on Me or something, man. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people did, but Pac definitely, he didn't have a hating bone in his body. He just wanted to. I mean, if you had a song and you acquired it, you like the beat, you're gonna keep the person who created the beat on there. What's the problem?
The incident that happened in New York in regards to Dogg Pound and Snoop and their trailer getting shot up. What is your thoughts on that? Like, what's the backstory on that? Because I know Biggie was on the radio. I think he called in a Hot 97.
Yeah, but that started off right there. That was the key.
Okay.
I mean, the calling and telling everybody to the Dogg Pound's filming a video in what was in Brooklyn, somewhere. They were filming it somewhere out there, and he initially got on the radio and made that call and told them where it's at. And after he made that call, then goons showed up and the trailer was shot up. that kicked it off because it wasn't initially going to be any kicking over the buildings and all that. That video was done, all that was done after. But that was a direct of you guys tried to come and attack. Now, granted, they probably felt some kind of way because they're showing up on our turf, but it was no ill will from the Dogg Pound to come out there. It was almost like showing, from me, my point of view, showing a little homage coming down there at first, to film. But before they can even film, you're shooting up you tell your people to come and somebody could have been killed. So now everybody's angry. They're angry.
Right. Yeah. So from your point of view, that's pretty much what started the whole.
Absolutely. That started off. I mean, it was friendly at that point. It was no, oh, we're gonna come down here. That if somebody comes to your video shoot, they're on the radio and telling people where you're at, and then the next thing you know, they're machine guns and shooting, and your whole trailer shot all the way off, and you could have been dead. Of course, you're gonna feel some kind of way.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I
now,
agree.
anybody would feel any kind of way. I mean, they tried to kill him. There's no way to look at it.
Right. Yeah, true. I heard Tupac was mad about that. Is that true?
I'm
I
sure.
heard Tupac found out, then he was
I'm
mad.
sure. I mean, it didn't matter. We were all pissed, and I was down there. I told you I went down there. I was down there, and I had got the call that something had happened, and Suge was like, "We out. We got to go." And I was staying at the World Trade Center because I had a ticket to go down there. It got ripped up because they didn't want no. I traveled with them, and everybody didn't like the idea of me traveling with them. Like, why does she have to go? Everywhere we go, I mean, they want to have fun. I'm going. Suge said I can go. I go.
Right.
Period. I was nosy. I want to go. They didn't like it, but Daz didn't mind me going. It's just that he got flack from everybody else. Like, why you fucking it up, homeboy. The flack. He didn't care about me going. He didn't give a damn. Daz was in his own little world.
Right. Hey, how did Daz personally feel about the trailers getting shot up at that time?
Pissed off. And my radio got shot up. I had a little boom box. My boom box got shot up, and it was never replaced, by the way. He took it down there because, you can play all the cassette tapes. And when he came back, because they had flew out, Sugar got them out on the private jet, and I had my ticket. I went back, I think Warren G, and I went back that way, and they went back that way. And I'm like, when he got home, I'm like, where's my radio? He's like, it was in the trailer. It got shot up. I'm like, my boom box? So he was upset. Everybody was upset because they were like, I mean, at that point, you didn't know it was that serious. I mean, you didn't think it was that serious until it's guns involved now. Like, somebody really wanted you dead at that point. That's serious.